Today, I'll be painting a Warhammer Infernus Marine as a Salamander. I don't really like push-fit minis, so I decided to cut off this connector and fill the hole in the base. I'll be filling the hole with Mr. Hobby Mr. White Putty. This putty is easy to use and can be cleaned up with thin cement. Now I assemble the mini. Push-fit minis are not normally meant to be glued, but I do so here. I've also cut off the connector on this mini's head so I can place it to the side. Here's the completed assembly. Now I glue the mini to its base. Now I paint the green base coat that will lay down all the shadows for the mini. Here it is when the green is done. It may look patchy, but it'll get better when we do our sponge highlights in the next step. For this, we'll use Vallejo Model Color Deep Green and a makeup sponge. Now I'll sponge the Vallejo Deep Green all over the top parts of the mini. Next, I make a brighter green by mixing deep green and yellow. I only hit the topmost parts of the model with the sponge. Here's the mini after all of its highlights. Now we paint the black pauldrons and any parts that are to be painted silver. Here it is after all the black. Next, it's time for our silver. Now I paint all the parts that are going to be gold with Vallejo model color olive brown. I normally paint this little panel on the power pack gold too. While I have the brown out, I'll paint all the pouches too. Now it's time for the gold. First, I do the little panel on the power pack. Now I highlight the pouches with a lighter beige I've mixed. Now I paint the parchment with an ivory color. Now I'm going to paint a simple fire symbol on the right pauldron. First I start with red and paint the tips of the fire. Then, inside the red, I follow the same pattern but with orange. And for the last part, on the same pattern, I paint yellow inside the orange. Here it is finished from a closer view. Now I do an oil wash with burnt umber. To make an oil wash, I put some of this oil paint in a cup and then I thin it out with some odorless mineral spirits and mix it up. I apply this to the Space Marine's weapon for a burnt look and to the gold to shade it. I also apply this to the parchment to shade it too. Now I do a black oil wash to shade the green armor and the silver. And now it's on to the finishing touches. I paint the wax part of the parchment with red. For this base, I superglued some sand on, and now I'm painting it gray to look like concrete. Off camera, I glued some bricks I made from old sprue to the base. After painting the bricks, I give the rim a black base, and now this mini is done. Here's the completed mini. Also, this video was recorded with a new microphone. Let me know what you think in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.